Hi there, Psychic Ones. Great to see you. Happy December. I'm coming to you today, Angela Bixby, founder of Energy Intuit, creatrix of the Conscious Psychic program, which is now open for enrollment for the 2026 cohort. Go to my website, link below if you'd like more info on that. Coming to you today with the early December energy update. It's a joy to be here. I've been offering these twice a month energy updates since September and Spirit's got me moving with the channel in this way. So I'm excited today to bring to you two threads from Spirit, followed by two responses, essentially kind of themes for the energy, two themes, and then how we can deal with it or respond to it. Before I get into that, I wanted to mention that one of the gifts of December that Spirit brought through in the last couple of days is they've been channeling a lot through to me. This is all channeled that I will read to you here soon. And they want me to do a live channeling as a gift to all for December. So I will be recording that in the next day or two, and you'll see that go up as well. And then I do these energy updates about twice a month. So this is for early December, and then I'll be posting another one in 10 to 12 to 14, 10 to 12 days for the second half of December, FYI. All right, let's get into it. Let me share with you what came through for this early December energy update. There's a thread. This is the thread. I'll present the thread in this way. There are errors in the air. And yes, I said errors, ERRORS. Now, I'm going to lean back from the channeling for a second. As many of you know, and for those that don't know, what often happens is spirit will channel in very specific languaging. And there is purpose to that. And I don't change it unless it feels like it's somehow offensive. I will sit with spirit and say, can you tell me more why you use that word? Sometimes I get explanation, sometimes I don't, though. Just sometimes I just go with it. But they do this very intentionally because we can receive different responses, different energies, different sort of light codes, activations when certain words are used. So even if it feels a little bit crunchy to hear that word error, Spirit offered that in the channeling very intentionally. So I'll go back to the channeling now, this first thread. There are errors in the air about what it means to be human. We say this because so many humans are expanding beyond where they thought that they may be by now in December of 2025. Today's December 2nd, 2025. Many who may not have deemed themselves as sensitives are now experiencing feelings in new and exciting ways. They are becoming more sensitive to energy, noticing less tolerance for cruelty, perhaps, and wanting to see more humanity in each other. The languaging of error, Spirit goes on to say, speaks to an openness now for so many. With all of these cosmic energies squeezing us into lighter states of being, ultimately, though it doesn't feel like that while it's happening. I think we'd all agree. Even though we know it's ultimately for higher good, it's an openness to having been wrong with older attitudes and perceptions. That's what they're citing this error in the air for humanity to be about. So when they offer this response, what they wanted me to say to you, I'll share with you all first is first, we say this to perhaps appeal to all of humanity evolving our perceptions in a way like this, evolving our beliefs, even admitting that we were wrong in how we used to think, these are said to be evidence of both higher intelligence and higher consciousness. There is deep value in owning our humility and in responding to these feelings in very open and transparent ways with each other. So the response is really an encouragement towards owning and being in your humility about this. And this is the example they gave. So, for instance, they said, in air quotes, I used to have a very absolute view of people that lived in a particular area. I assumed it meant many things about these people whom I have never met nor interacted with. I see now that I was wrong. It was an error in my perceptions. Now I'm able to see their humanity differently and abandon those old beliefs and stories of who I thought or who I assumed that they were. This is one example of a response to this thread. So the bottom line guidance for this response is to own, acknowledge, and speak aloud these realizations that you're having about your evolving selves. Obviously, do them in a safe space with someone that you trust, and or just do them for yourself and witness yourself. Perhaps record it. Perhaps talk to your guides. When we speak things aloud, we're transmuting things further, right? We're taking it from feelings and thoughts and the energy of feelings and thoughts in our body, and we're giving it voice, and we're helping to kind of shift ourselves into these new ways of being while also owning it and admitting it in a little more public ways than just privately, right? Which is why they recommend safe person, speak it aloud to someone. Because then what you're also doing with the response to this thread is you're modeling that behavior of evolving consciousness where we can say, hey, I used to think this, and I see now how I was really wrong about that. And I'm really glad to be in this new belief. And I just wanted to say this to you or share this with you. So that would be another example of a response to that first thread. All right, now for the second of two threads for today and the second of two responses for today. This next thread goes like this. The Spirit says, more truths are being revealed now. It is as if Spirit has taken the lid off of a canister, and it made me, I was seeing in my mind's eye like a Parmesan cheese canister. It is as if Spirit has taken the lid off of a canister and is now pouring freely the truths, the obvious things everywhere. I'm demonstrating it with my movement here, right? So this, too, either way. And it's as if they're just being poured onto the planet. Okay. Yes, we hear you, Spirit. We're all seeing that and experiencing that. So what say you, Spirit, of this response? And this is how they came through. The response is be not righteous. Respond with humility as you experience these truths being shaken all over the globe now. Sit with them. Go inward with your inquiry and ask your higher selves for guidance on whether or not to even respond to truths being shaken so liberally all over the globe. Stay detached as best that you can, for many of these truths do not require a response yet. The more that we can sit in humility with them, meaning our responses to the truth or how we feel about the truths or the information, the more we remain objective around if there is even a response warranted for any of the given truths that are being shaken across the lands. So it's a call from Spirit to pause and observe the truths that we're witnessing. We don't need to attach to them. We don't need to have an opinion about them. We don't need to necessarily do anything about them. And I guess one thing that is coming through on this note is if you feel called to honor whatever emotions come up for you privately and personally in response to these truths, of course that's beautiful and acceptable to respond in that way. So perhaps just sit with, again, as was said a little bit earlier, what you notice coming up for you around these truths being shaken liberally all over the globe in the ways that they are. So much information is coming out. None of us are meant to be guardians or keepers of it or perpetuators of it. Trust that it's a bit like a grand clearing and a massive release that's happening. And also it's sort of like the floodgates have been opened, and it won't be long now before we're not just watching all of these truths being shaken all over the globe. We're actually seeing people move forward with the ones that are important for how we can move humanity forward into our new way of being as we navigate these transformational 20s. All right, so there are your two threads and two responses today on December 2nd, 2025, with the early December energy update. I will be back in the next day or two. Check back here for the channeling that Spirit wants me to offer as a gift for everyone on the channel here for December. I thank you for being here. If you can muster a subscribe to the channel, I will appreciate it because I've got to get my subscriber count up before I can do things like lives and do some other offerings for you all. So I love and appreciate the subscribes. Thank you in advance. And if you like this video, please give it a like, give it a share if you think someone might benefit from it. Thank you for your time here. Take care, everyone.